So I was at a yard sale the other day and I spied on the table a little stack of amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool figures, but in really beat up boxes. But on a closer look, that's not what this is. This is a bootleg of a Yamaguchi Revoltech. This was on a table at a yard sale in the middle of nowhere, Massachusetts, and I paid $5 for it. And I thought at that point, like, I just need to see what is up. I've never actually owned an amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech. I've owned plenty of Revoltechs, but I've not owned one of this style, right? And so I wanted to see what it was about, and I also love crazy-ass bootlegs. So we're going to go over this, and it's going to be wild, so strap in. So first of all, not Marvel, but Heroes has been replaced on the box. This amazing Yamaguchi now says Hero Yama Kyohi. There was wrapped in a big band of tape, and there's a little sticker. It says made in China, elements, de embars, a separator, recycling, whatever. Danger of suffocation, plastic bag, a little barcode made in China. But they didn't change the name of Deadpool. They still have Yamaguchi Katsuhisa, the sculptor and designer of the toy, on there. On the back, it is pretty similar in terms of like the type and everything. I think it's the same. I don't have the original box, but I'm gonna guess it's fine. All around, though, it's clearly shitty. The package is shitty. But let's see what is going on here in relation to its comparison to the real Mr. Cool. So there's the box colored in the inside. Okay, cool. No paperwork. Then there is a Ziploc bag with a stand and some extra Revoltech joints. Okay. And we have the figure in the tray. The tray is definitely cheap as crap. So you got the figure, some swords, some guns. It looks like alternate eye plates for the Deadpool mask, some alternate hands, the katanas for the back, and the figure. Oh, and a little motion stand. Let's take a look at this figure. So, my first impression is it's not too bad, really. There is some obvious issues on the molding. You can see some kind of crappy mold lines. The paint on the neck isn't quite the same as the paint on the body. There's some overspray. Same here, kind of not great paint on the waist. There's a little dot on the crotch. But I mean, for $5, it's not bad. Now, I grew up with bootleg toys because I was poor, but that doesn't mean I advocate for the straight-off knockoff of intellectual property. I've grown to appreciate the bootlegs that do interesting things with it and create sort of new things, right? And I also grew out of Revoltech. I kind of got tired of this system, and they're fiddly, they break. I just was over it, right? So this is gonna be an interesting look into this figure because, as a rule, like I said, I don't like Revoltech that much anymore. And this is like super Revoltech, right? I'm sure it's gonna pose great, but it's gonna also probably drive me nuts. Okay, so you can see we have some holes on the back here, I'm guessing for weaponry. That's probably the stand hole in the back. You have holes in the feet for display. Head seems small on this figure, to be honest, but I think that's a sculpting thing. You've got a bunch of different hands, and of course it's got, thumbs up from Deadpool right now. And I think, honestly, Deadpool would approve of the knockoffs of his likeness if he were a real person. So let's talk about the joint work, okay? There are a lot of Revoltech joints. So you have a ball in the head, ball in the neck, ball in the chest. There's a double ball that comes down to the waist. You have double ball joints in these shoulders here. You have ball joints in the elbow, ball joint in the wrist. You have the same thing on the other side there. Interestingly, there are ball joints on the side of this ammo belt that allow it to move out of the way for posing. This gun is not removable from that belt. Then you have a ball joint at the hips. You have some kind of rotation here, which feels like a ball joint. You have ball joint at the knee. You even have little ball joints on the flaps for the knee. You have a ball joint in the ankle. And you have a hinge joint in the toe. That, my friends, is a lot of joints, meaning good luck standing him up on his own or having a neutral pose, because he's just going to be one of these things that you just constantly like, yeah, it's not tight. So I don't know if the original is tight. I'm guessing it's probably much tighter than this. This is very loose. Standing it is not going to happen. So maybe put the little foot stand in. That helps it a little bit, but not much. There's also this stand. It's kind of a, well, looks like a Figma stand, but it, or a, what the fuck were those Bandai stands called? Tamashi stands. It looks like that, but it really holds well. Holds a cool pose. Pretty firm, you know, holds the figure up. We like that. If you hadn't noticed, I swapped some hands out with some pistols there. Those look pretty sweet. I gotta admit, this guy's growing on me a little bit. You can attach swords on the back, and they do move a little bit, but these swords don't come out. Instead, you do get separate swords, and you could just make him look like he's got 4 swords. I'm 4 swords pool. Finally, let's talk about the face. So that there are 2 slightly different face plates, and inside they have these little dots. You can push the eye panels out and replace them with different eye expressions. That's kind of neat. I remember Hot Toys was doing that with 1/6 scale figures, and now look at that, we're doing it with this size figure. Isn't that special? Did I mention I have 4 swords? 4 swords guy. He's the guy with 4 swords. So to summarize, well, there's 2 things there to comment on, but I'm gonna go with the whole bootleggy thing first. Of course, I'm not advocating you go buy these bootlegs as a habit, right? I like bootlegs when they take the original material and do something wacky with it, right? Like do it neon green, or, you know, I don't know, just do something crazy. But this is a straight up, like, you know, copy, right? But just not as good quality. But I will say, for $5 on this side of the road, I'm kind of impressed, right? I mean, I'm sure the real bootleg doesn't go for $5. I think this was just an oddity, but yeah, man, $5. It's $5. Then, you know, my comment about this amazing Yamaguchi hero style figure. You know, I think I like it better being the bootleg, and hear me out, because I know I break shit, and this is probably like an $80 or $90 Revoltech, and there's so many joints that you got to keep track of which ways they're going, but for this $5 one, you don't have to care. You just move it however you want. If it breaks, who cares? It was $5. So, like, I think I would be a little intimidated by the amount of joints in this for a, you know, $90 brand new figure. But for a $5 figure, I'm enjoying mucking with this without fear, because that's how Deadpool would roll, maybe. I don't know, man. I think it's all right for $5. Yeah, so it's Josh from CollectionDX. Thanks for watching, man. Have a good one.